Some fighters seem to dodge attacks before they even happen. They slip the punch before it's thrown. They step back before the takedown starts. They counter before you've decided to commit. It looks like a sixth sense. It's not. It's pattern recognition, and it's completely learnable. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, where to look, and how to train your brain to read those signals in real time. The reason most fighters can't read their opponent isn't a lack of experience. It's that they're looking at the wrong things. Beginners watch the fists. That's the worst place to look. By the time the fist is moving, it's already too late to react. You're not reading the attack, you're responding to it after it's launched. Intermediate fighters watch the eyes, which is better, but still not reliable. People can fake with their eyes. A feint works precisely because it exploits eye tracking. High-level fighters watch something different entirely. They watch the body parts that can't lie, the parts that have to move before the attack can happen, whether the fighter wants them to or not. That's the key shift. Stop watching what your opponent wants you to see. Start watching what they can't hide. There are 4 involuntary signals that telegraph attacks almost every time. Learn these, and you'll start reading opponents within weeks, not years. Number 1. Weight shift. Every attack requires a transfer of weight. A cross loads on the rear leg before it fires. A lead leg kick needs the weight to move to the back foot first. A takedown drives forward, meaning the weight shifts to the toes. Watch the hips and the feet, not the hands. The hips tell you where the weight is going. The feet tell you when it starts moving. That weight shift is your earliest signal. It happens before the technique begins, before the shoulder turns, before anything visible in the upper body. Practice this in sparring by deliberately dropping your gaze lower than feels natural. Not to the floor, to the center of mass, roughly the chest and hips. The hands will still enter your peripheral vision, but your primary read becomes the body. Number 2. The shoulder load. Before almost every punch, the shoulder of the throwing arm drops or rotates back slightly. It's the body cocking the weapon. Most fighters do this without knowing they're doing it, and they can't stop it because it's mechanically required to generate power. A jab loads with a tiny forward dip of the lead shoulder. A cross loads with a rotation of the rear shoulder. An uppercut loads with a drop of the elbow. A hook loads with a pull of the shoulder across the body. You won't see these tells at first. They're small, but once you know what to look for and spend a few weeks watching sparring footage, yours and others, they become obvious. The load is always there. Number 3. The breath pattern. People change how they breathe right before they attack. Some hold their breath and explode. Some take a quick, sharp inhale. Some exhale aggressively right before they commit. Whatever the pattern, it's consistent for each person. It becomes a rhythm you can feel in a live round. When that rhythm breaks, when the breathing suddenly changes, an attack is coming. This signal is harder to read visually, but in close range in the clinch. In a grappling exchange, number 4, eye direction before movement. Earlier, I said the eyes can be faked. That's true, but there's a specific eye signal that's much harder to fake, where someone looks right before they move their body. People unconsciously glance in the direction they intend to move or attack. A fighter about to circle right will briefly look right. A fighter about to shoot a takedown will briefly drop their gaze to your hips or legs. A fighter about to go to the body will flick their eyes down for a fraction of a second. This isn't the stare they give you during a feint. It's a micro glance less than half a second. It happens at the decision point, right before they commit. Train yourself to notice it, and you have access to your opponent's intention before the movement begins. Reading opponents isn't something you build by just sparring more. You need deliberate observation. Here's how to build it fast. Watch footage with the sound off. Take sparring or fight footage and mute it. The sound, the crowd, the commentary, the impact pulls your attention to what's loud. Without it, you're forced to read the body. Watch 10 minutes of footage this way per week. Pick one signal to track per session. Just the weight shifts, just the shoulder loads. One thing, your brain builds pattern libraries faster when you give it one task at a time. Call the shot before it lands. In your next sparring session, make it your only goal to call the incoming attack out loud or in your head before it arrives. Don't worry about defending it. Don't worry about countering. Just say jab or takedown or body kick a fraction of a second before it happens. This sounds passive, but it's one of the fastest ways to build reading ability. It forces you to stay predictive rather than reactive, and it gives you instant feedback on whether your read was right. Study your own tells in footage. Most fighters spend zero time watching themselves for telegraphs. Record your sparring and watch it, looking for the same 4 signals: weight shifts, shoulder loads, breath patterns, eye direction, you will find that you had no idea you had. Fixing your own tells also accelerates your ability to spot them in others, because you now understand how they feel from the inside. In a street or self-defense context, the same signals apply, but the environment is different. You usually won't have a structured stance, clear distance, or a single opponent in front of you. So two things matter more here. Watch the hands first, then the hips. In an unstructured situation, you don't have the luxury of tracking multiple signals. The hands tell you the most dangerous immediate threat, but the hips tell you if they're about to close distance, which is your most critical piece of information. If the hips are turning, and the weight is loading forward, something is coming. Aggression telegraphs early. In most real altercations, the body shows the decision to attack several seconds before the attack. The jaw tightens, the shoulders rise and pull back, the breathing becomes visible and faster. The weight shifts to the balls of the feet. These are stress indicators, and they cluster together. When you see 2 or 3 of them at once, the person has already decided. You need to move now, not when the punch is already in the air. Reading an opponent before they attack is not a talent. It's a trained perception skill built from knowing where to look and putting in deliberate observation time. The ones who learn to read are always one step ahead, not because they're faster, but because they started earlier. The attack you see coming is the one you don't have to survive.